Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Caroline McGraw from A Wish Come Clear, and I'm recording this live video in connection with a blog post I published a few months back called For the Ones Who Hide Away When They're Struggling. You guys really liked it, so I figured let's talk about this. So many of us hide away from life, from each other, even from ourselves when we're struggling. And I got interested in this topic and in writing about it because I have a friend with this habit that sort of drives me a little bananas. And the reason that it drives me crazy is because I completely do this too. So calling the kettle black 100%. So caveat, I don't do this in exactly the same way. I have a different manifestation of this, but it's the same principle. So I will text my friend about getting together and she'll text me back. Or, she'll say, oh, let's do a call, let's hang out. And I'll say, great, let's do it. And then she'll drop off the face of the earth. And I know that that doesn't mean that she doesn't want to spend time with me. I know, because I've known her for a long time, I know that she's dealing with some serious issues in her life and some depression, some anxiety. And I know that when things get really tough for her, then she tends to go dark. That's when I stop hearing from her. Is when things are hard. And so I've learned to just send messages and send love, even if I'm not getting something back, because I think that that can help to defy those voices that tell us that nobody cares and that we're all alone. And again, this is frustrating to me because I know I do the same thing. I know that when I'm struggling, I tend to retreat. And I think a lot of us who are on the compassionate side, on the empathic side, the ones who want to help, we're the ones who tend to hide our sorrows and hide our struggles because we don't want to burden anybody. We want to be the helpers, right? We don't want to be the ones who need all the help. We're the competent ones. So the problem with this is, of course, that when we turn all of our fear and our anger inward and we don't connect with other people, then we get kind of lost. We have this idea that we have to be the strong one. And in clinging to that idea, we actually lose a true sense of ourselves because none of us is 100% strong all the time. We're both strong and weak. We're human and we're extraordinary, It's not one or the other, it's both. That we have strengths, we have weaknesses. Together, that's what it means to be human. And so I am an expert at hiding behind, I'm fine, I don't need help, I'm totally competent. But I recently had this experience that showed me the beauty of admitting your vulnerability and really getting honest about it. So what happened was I was driving my car on the way to volunteer as a special needs caregiver, and I was feeling really tired. And I was at this stoplight, kind of struggling to keep my energy up. And I saw this man who was standing on the median in front of me. And he was tall, he was very elegant, he was African American. I remember him very clearly. He had on this white t-shirt and these khaki pants, and he was holding a cardboard sign, and it said, "Need a little help." And I saw that, I read those 4 words, and it was like a lightning bolt or like a key turning in my chest and opening something. And I had one of those moments where you realize that we really are all connected and that none of us are separate. And I understood that this was me and we were the same. Of course, our situations were totally different. Our life experiences were totally different. I wasn't standing on the median asking strangers for money, but I felt the truth of that sign. Like, I need a little help too. We all do, I've been trying really hard to pretend that that was not true, but that man holding his sign gave me such a gift because it helped me to just drop out of that denial. It was like, nope, I am not superhuman. I need a little help. And I felt such compassion for him because he was embodying this truth about myself that I was really afraid to face. And so while of course I took the precautions, as a woman alone, I made sure my doors were locked and everything, but I waved him over and I offered him the money that I had in my wallet. And he looked me straight in the eye and he said so kindly, he said, "Thank you. God bless you." And I said it right back to him because I knew that I had already been blessed. I had already been gifted. And that was just the tangible manifestation that we'd already helped each other. And so I tell you this story as a reminder that next time you are tempted to hide when you're struggling, I want to challenge you to do something different. I want to challenge you to, in a way that feels right to you, to metaphorically go out into the world with a sign that says, "Need a little help." For you, that might mean calling a close friend. That might mean calling a national hotline where you can be totally anonymous in your need for help. It looks different for different people, not prescribing one way, of course not. But just take ownership that in some way you need a little help. One way I've actually done this recently is I started working with a business coach through a business coaching program. And my business is doing fine, but I knew that if I wanted to grow, that I could use a little help. So I took that leap and it feels really good. It feels amazing to just admit, you know what? I don't want to do this on my own and I could do it much better with some help. So, warning, the vulnerability might feel really awful at first, but so does hiding away. And the vulnerability at least has a strength in it, because when you're hiding in shame, you're letting shame take the wheel. Brene Brown writes that when perfectionism is driving, shame is always riding shotgun. But when you can get honest about the reality that you're human and sometimes humans need a little help, then you can kick shame right out of your car. And then you have the opportunity and the privilege of allowing yourself to both give and receive. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day.